521 is a large creature standing almost twice the height of a normal human. Its entire body is covered in layers of sticky black tendrils with similar appearance to ribbons, although it is unknown if it is consist of or is simply covered in them. It is currently impossible to contain the entity through physical means, because it is capable of facing through walls. The creature appears sentient and understands words, but is confused when presented with images or other non-verbal or textual forms of communication. SCP-2521 is only sensitive to any verbal or textual information about itself, and seemed to be able to teleport to a location near the objects carrying the information. However, it fails to react and understand to any form of images such as pictures, charts, and marks. As a result of this, it can only be described via ideograms and images. These images are top secret and are only accessible to Class 4 and O5 personnel.
But you said even O5 can't talk about it.
Yes, the experiment I'm about to tell you explains why. 2 experiments have been conducted for SCP-2521 so far. In the experiment 2521-8, a D-Class personnel was placed inside a room alone. He was instructed to look at the chart and images describing SCP-2521, then write the information in textual form on a paper.
Write what you see on these images.
After the Class D personnel completed writing, SCP-2521 appeared in the room and showed fondness at the paper. It grabs the textual file and SCP-2521 disappeared through facing with the file, leaving the Class D personnel terrified.
What was it like before the Foundation realized how it works?
Did you finish the filing for the new SCP? I asked you many times.
Yeah, it's on the table.
No, it's not.
Dan, who keeps doing that? I filed it 5 times today.
Does it only take papers?
No, the second experiment was conducted under the same circumstances. However, this time, the D-Class personnel was instructed to describe the images by saying it.
Read out what you see on these images.
After describing it, SCP-2521 manifested, expressing what seemed to be affection towards the D-Class. It grabs the D-Class, disappeared with him through facing. The D-Class has yet to be found since then.
So he kidnaps the people he likes?
No, he takes people who talks about him.
What should we write on the report? Conclusion of the experiments. SCP-25. Don't say the number. The subject's faces near any object describing information about it and disappears with the obtained object. And its motivation. The motivation of SCP-25. Don't say the number. The motivation of the test subject, depending on our interpretation, there are 3 possibilities. A. Just an indicator that it's taking away information about itself. Or B. It loves information about itself and wants to keep the things or people talking about itself. C. It's hiding its traces by removing all information about it. Whether it kills or destroys whatever is mentioning it or just keeping it is unknown. Since all textual documents will be stolen by SCP-25, don't say the number. I saved your life 3 times. Sir, the SCP has been reported to appear again in Site-19.
What?
Who? The SCP we can't talk about.
Which SCP?
Sir, that SCP.
Oh, is it this SCP? The one SCP with the funny face. Get the nappy ready. Get the nappies.
Excuse me, sir. Which CP was in your mind?
That SCP?
I don't think you have the right one, sir. It's the SCP we cannot talk about.
You're confusing me. There's no SCP-05 cannot talk about.
SCP ... Count the dots.
You better make it clear or there will be no year-end bonus for you.
It's SCP-2521, sir.
Oh, it's him. Now I remember. Get me a new level 4. Get a comic artist to draw a comic book for it. The pictograms are too hard to understand.
Sir, thank you for the job.
Remember this SCP. You got that job because of it.
Thank you, sir. I really love the Ribbon Man.
Who? Who?
SCP-2521, the Ribbon Man.
Shit. Get me a new level 4. If it can take anything with it, why don't we try terminate SCP-682 with it?
Oh hell yeah! Love the idea.
Who is SCP-682?
The hard-to-destroy reptile. We'll make a video about him soon. Basically, he's a reptile but can't be destroyed. The Foundation has been trying to find a way to terminate it with many SCPs but no success so far. SCP-682 Termination Test Record. SCP-682 is restrained in Lab 145-B. Laser is introduced. Begin log. 9 seconds. SCP-682.
What are you doing?
13 seconds. Laser begins carving infohazardous data onto SCP-682's hide. SCP-682 emits a loud roar. 14 seconds. Command room emergency shutter closes. 2 minutes 4 seconds. Laser finishes cutting. 2 minutes 6 seconds. Manifests. 2 minutes 12 seconds. SCP-682 breaks restraints. 2 minutes 14 seconds. Latches onto SCP-682. 2 minutes 15 seconds. SCP-682 begins vocalizing. 2 minutes 16 seconds. Demanifests, taking with it only the section of SCP-682's skin which was carved with infohazardous data. Test aborted. End log.
What happened?
The Foundation was testing if SCP-2521 could take SCP-682 and disappear, but he only takes the part of the skin with information carved.
Where does it come from?
Currently unknown. However, there is one source that seems highly possible. A corridor in the basement of an unknown engineering company building that at first seems normal, however is designated SCP-1346. At the end of the corridor, there's a room behind a normal-looking door, which is now designated SCP-1346-1. It is dark and in disrepair due to its anomalous effect. During the experiments for studying SCP-1346-1, D-Class personnel are sent as subjects to open the door of SCP-1346-1, but every time, when subjects are approaching the end of the corridor, or electronic devices cease to work and they soon hear clicking and other mechanical sounds, despite some subjects are using items to prevent hearing. As subjects continue moving, they begin to experience intense fear as they approach the door. This effect eventually causes subjects to refuse to proceed further and return. When exiting the corridor, the fear goes away, and subjects are confused on why they were scared in the first place. In some cases, some subjects retain the trauma. Eventually, after many failed attempts, the Foundation sent a D-Class who has SCP-3031, a rare brain condition which caused him not to develop fear. During this experiment, the D-Class did not develop fear until he arrived at the door where he finally experienced intense fear and nearly collapsed. But the shock collar he wore caused him to reawaken and forget his fear. Then for the first time, Someone entered through the door. However, the D-class never got out but was still alive.
How did they know he is still alive?
He slipped a letter under the door for the Foundation to find. In the letter, he wrote that the room he had entered is actually a prison which contained the creature, and he accidentally took its place when entering, freeing the creature who then left. The D-class, however, refused to describe the creature in the letter. He stated that if he describes it on the letter, the letter would be taken away by the creature. He wished the luck to the Foundation in containing it. The creature is presumed to be 2521, given that the D-class couldn't describe it, implying that the creature could be SCP-2521 and SCP-1346-1 could be its prison. However, it could not be proven, as any discussion and document would be taken away. If SCP-1346-1 is a prison capable of containing SCP-2521, then there is more question to the answer they found.
That sounds like this SCP. He is just on a self-discovery journey. Why is it a Keter class? You are safe if you don't talk about him.
The class is not lethality but difficulty of containing the object. It cannot be contained physically, therefore it is categorized as Keter class. We'll make a video explain different classes.
Can he destroy the world?
Imagine it got onto social media and people start talking about it. It will take everyone and cause a CK class scenario.
What is a CK class scenario?
A type of end of the world. We'll make a video explain different scenarios of end of the world in future.
I made a drawing for it. This is what my version looks like.
She's so cute. I love her.
This will make you feel better.
Why? What?
He said the number. Time for bed. Subscribe.